If your environment is working against you, it doesn't matter how disciplined or motivated you might think you are. And for those of you who think you're lazy, I really doubt it and truly believe that your environment is probably holding you back. And today, I'm gonna show you exactly how to start fixing that so you can create an environment that makes winning easy. Most of my clients are busy desk workers, entrepreneurs, or just lifters that are trying to balance a busy work schedule, their life, and their health. And 9 times out of 10, the reason they fall off track has nothing to do with their motivation. It's friction. Friction in their environment that makes the wrong choices easy and the right choices hard. But once we fix that, it makes winning that much easier because it becomes more automatic. And they start building real momentum really fast. And this is backed by neuroscience and psychology. The visual cortex and the basal ganglia of the brain respond to cues before your thoughts can even catch up. This means that your brain is deciding what to do before you're consciously even aware of it. This is how you can breathe without thinking about it. This is how your heart can pump without having to think about it. This is how you can walk now without having to think about every single step you take. So for example, if your gym bag is packed up, ready to go, and it's in your line of sight before you head out the door, you are more likely to go to the gym. Not because of your conscious effort, but because your brain is catching all these visual cues and automatically taking subconscious action for you. And the opposite is also true. If your phone is on your nightstand right next to you while you're in bed, every single time it vibrates, your natural reaction is to grab it, look at it, and then doom scroll, which will mess with your sleep and probably mess with your overall results. But it's not a lack of discipline that you scroll. Your brain is subconsciously taking this action for you before you can even stop yourself. So what do we need to do? You don't need more motivation, more discipline. You need a better designed environment to make it easier to go towards the good choices and harder to go towards the bad choices. First, start making your good habits obvious. Keep visual cues front and center so your visual cortex and the basal ganglia can see these on a day-to-day basis. Your gym bag on your usual path outside the door in the house. Your gym shoes where you can see them all the time. Your vitamins on the counter so you see them every time you go in the kitchen. Your meal plan printed out on the fridge. Your workout plan printed out on the fridge. The most important apps that you will use on the front home screen of your phone, like your meal tracking app, like your workouts app, maybe some positive affirmations. Anything you can do to make it very easy to visually see the good things that you should be doing. Second is to make it attractive. Pair one of these good habits that you're trying to build with something you already enjoy doing. My favorite example is when it's cutting season and my cardio is getting high, I will dedicate a cardio show, a show that I will only watch when I'm doing cardio. Now, I'm a nerd, so most of the time this is an anime, and I really get into my animes, and they're only 20 minutes long, so it's perfect for a 20-minute cardio session. And a lot of times I'll catch myself either doing a little bit of extra cardio or looking forward to my next cardio session solely because I'm really enjoying my cardio show. You can pair a good podcast or your favorite music with meal prep, or walking, or doing your cardio. Find something you enjoy doing already that you can pair with something you're still trying to build. Third is to make it easy by removing the steps it takes for you to start. Pack your gym bag the night before. It's a lot harder to look for the gym clothes, pack everything up in the morning when it's dark outside before you got to go to work and you're half asleep. Versus if you do it beforehand the night before, you can just grab the bag and go. It makes it easier to make the right choice in the morning. This is why I love meal prepping so much. It is a lot easier for me to make the right choice because I have my meals already weighed out and ready to go in the fridge. If I had to cook dinner every single night after a hard training session and a long day of work, I'm more likely to just go pick something up because I'm too tired to cook. You can do this with your vitamins and supplements by getting pill organizers and having them ready for the week. So all you have to do is boom, Pop them real quick. You can do this with water because it is important. Always carry a water bottle with you wherever you go. You can do this with tracking your food by tracking your food early in the day so you don't have to try to remember later at night. The fourth and final thing is to make it satisfying. And the best way to do that is to track your streaks. It is a really satisfying feeling to be able to look back at a month and say, wow, I did this good habit every single day this month except for 2. That is extremely powerful. And the more consistency that you build, the better your results will be as well. Streaks are also really helpful because they're a huge dopamine hit. Dopamine is that good sensation, that good feeling that makes you want to keep doing something. That is what doom scrolling is. You get a little dopamine hit off watching one video, so you scroll. And then you get it again, so you scroll again to try to find that next dopamine hit. When you can learn to do this with your good habits and build streaks on them, it becomes very powerful because you look forward to being able to cross off another day and say, hell yeah, I did it again. My streak is continuing to grow. The other way that you can make it satisfying is by rewarding yourself for showing up consistently. But you want to make sure that the reward aligns with the identity that you're building and the goals you're trying to reach. Then I can reward myself after consistently going to the gym for, let's say, 2 to 3 weeks with maybe some new gym clothes or a new pair of gym shoes or a new supplement. It's still going to feel great to get yourself something new and reward yourself, but now it also aligns with the goals that you're trying to achieve. But how do we make a bad habit harder to do? You're going to take the 4 laws that make good habits easier to achieve, and we're going to inverse them. We're going to do the opposite. So number 1 is to make the bad habit invisible. Hide the snacks that you have in the house or completely get rid of them. Delete the DoorDash and Grubhub off your phone. Leave your phone in a completely separate room at all times. We are taking the visual cue away, so we're not giving our brain the ability to subconsciously make our decisions for us without letting us catch up. Number 2 is to make them unattractive. You really need to remind yourself of what these bad habits are costing you. And this is going to depend on what that bad habit is. It's different for everyone. I used to be very addicted to smoking, and the only thing that helped me stop was constantly reminding me what it was costing me. It was costing me my health. It was costing me my focus. It was costing me my energy the next day, and it was costing me my relationship with my friends, my clients, and my wife because I wasn't able to show up as my true self because I was so addicted to smoking all the time. So what is your bad habit costing you? Is it your energy? Is it your confidence right now? Is it the momentum you want to build towards your next big goal? Is it your health? Ask yourself what that is and remind yourself of this every single time the thought of this bad habit crosses your mind. Number 3 is to make them difficult. You want to add as much friction as possible between you and the bad habit itself. This one ties in very well with making it invisible. So I told you to hide your junk food, but how can we make this even better? Is literally create as much distance between you and the junk food as possible. Again, a great example from my life is I love Oreos. It's one of the main reasons I was really fat when I was a kid. And as an adult, I still like to indulge in them every once in a while. But I add more friction by number 1, keeping them all the way in the basement so they're not in our kitchen and I don't see them every single day. And number 2, I no longer buy the big family packs of Oreo. I buy individually packaged, like 1 or 2 of them, because it makes more friction and it makes it easier for me to have self-control. Rather than having a big pack on the counter every time I walk in the kitchen, I'm gonna crush them. So move your junk food maybe in a hard to reach cabinet or ask somebody to hide it and you don't even know where it is. Get it as far away from you as possible. Maybe gaming is an issue for you. Unplug your gaming system. If you really want to play that bad, then you have to go through the trouble of plugging everything back in. Again, when I was addicted to smoking, I created distance. I kept everything in the garage. And especially during the winter months, a lot of times I would be able to talk myself out of going out there to smoke because it was way too cold. And another way that you can add friction is by telling someone what you're trying to do. It's a lot easier to crack and give into a bad habit when you're the only one knowing that you want to stop because nobody else is there to hold you accountable. When you have to tell your coach, a team member, or a friend or family or a loved one, it stings a little bit. And sometimes that sting is enough to hold you back from falling back into the bad habit. And number 4 is that you need to make it unsatisfying. This is where public accountability is really going to step in again. It stings to admit that you messed up. And it's okay to mess up. We're all human. We're all going to mess up at some point. But we need to take accountability for that. And it's even more powerful when we have a team or friend or people to be able to hold us accountable to it as well. So post on social media, post in our school community if you're one of our clients, post in our group chat. All of these people want to see you succeed. And it is okay to be vulnerable and to share when we make mistakes, because the only person that's going to berate you and maybe push you down is yourself, because you're probably going to be really hard on yourself. But when you have the right accountability partners, they will say, yeah, you did mess up for sure. No argument with that. But let's not miss twice and get back on the wagon right now. The other thing that you can do to make it unsatisfying is incorporate some form of a small consequence. I've done this in the past, and a really cool thing you can do is a contract. It kills two birds with one stone. You state your accountability partner and you create a contract saying it has some form of a negative consequence if I break this. For example, I'm going to go to the gym 3 times this week. I'm telling you guys to hold me accountable. If I don't go to the gym 3 times this week, I have to give every single one of you $100. Write a contract, sign off on whatever that is, but it needs to sting. If it's, I'm going to give this person $1, $1's not much for a lot of people. It's not going to sting enough. You're not going to care. But if I tell myself I have to give my friend $500 if I mess up, I'm probably going to stay pretty locked in, because I don't know about y'all, but to me, $500 is a lot. So now you know how to make bad habits harder and good habits easier. But the reason that this is important is because of friction and momentum. Every behavior that we take action on or inaction on has a form of friction, whether it's time, whether it's energy, maybe it's the effort I need to put into it, or it could even be the emotion that I've attached to it. Higher friction from any of those things creates resistance and creates inconsistency. Lower friction creates momentum and consistency. So you can engineer your environment to create momentum for you in the right direction or in the wrong direction. So you need to audit your environment and ask yourself, what direction is this momentum taking me? Where is my environment pointing me? And re-engineer your environment to work for you and not against you. You need to design your life. The goal is not to rely on willpower and discipline and motivation alone. The best of the best out there. I've been doing this for 13 years, and my motivation always is going to come and go. But the gym is such a core pillar of my life, and it is solely because I have created my environment to do so. So the goal is to build an environment where your good habits can thrive and your bad habits can't survive. When your surroundings make the right choice automatic, you don't spend so much time fighting yourself anymore, and rather just start taking step after step and creating more momentum. And that is really the secret to making discipline easier. It's about making your environment work for you. So here's what I want you to do this week. Pick one good habit that you're going to make easier in your life by removing friction, by making it satisfying, by making it attractive, and making it obvious in your life. And find one bad habit that you want to break by making it invisible, by making it unattractive, making it difficult, and making it unsatisfying. And as a bonus, try to find 3 different friction points in your life that could just be adding unnecessary steps or just making it harder to do some of the other good habits that you'd like to do in your life that'll get you closer to the goals. If you're one of our clients, then post in the school community and share with everybody else so we can hold you accountable and cheer for you along the way. If you're just watching this on YouTube, then post on your social media and tag Eric B Lifting and use the hashtag Unleash Your Potential. Whether you're one of our clients or not, I want to see your guys' setups so my team and I can help you improve them, and so we can share some of the great setups that we'll see. Because you all don't realize that you posting on social media can inspire somebody else that might be in similar shoes as well. If this resonated with you and you feel very serious about wanting to make a change, but you feel like you just need extra support, maybe you don't know exactly where to start, or you just want a team to have your back and guide you every step of the way, then hit the link in the description to apply for our one-on-one coaching program. And we'll get you on a free consultation call to really understand where it is that you currently are and what your main goals are. and we'll build a strategy to make sure that we can get you there. I hope you guys found this helpful, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Much love, and I'll see you guys in the next one.